Welcome to InDesign Quick Start Videos and some tips. I'm David Atkinson, a graphics lecturer at Glasgow Clyde College. This is the fifth and final video in this series, and we're going to concentrate on style sheets. In our last video, we touched on text and images, so we'll be picking up on text and how to format text in InDesign. So you need to go to your icon, remember to open up InDesign. It should be in your docking station at the bottom. Then you click on that, and this is where we were at. If you see, what you need to do is really save it as style sheets. I've already done that. But if you do File, Save As, you can see style sheets come in there. I'll do it as a 2, just to show you, and you save. And it's really copying exactly what you've got on the page, so you will still keep text and images. So we save that as style sheets. And then we're left with this image. Now what we want to do is move these slightly on the page. And I'll show you how we're going to use paragraph styles to set your text. We're in the select tool. What I'm going to do is click on that text. And what I want to do is set this at 70 millimeters at the top. The quickest and accurate way is to put in your y-axis. So click on there and put 70. And that drops exactly to 70. Then I'm going to drop these two images by clicking and dragging. So you selected both because I clicked and dragged. Hover over them and then drag them down to about 70. And you can see by the y-axis that changes. That drops in at 70 and it snaps to that grid. I'm going to create another text box, clicking over the type. And I'm clicking and dragging, and we're going to go the full length of the text box. This goes under the computer default with a flashing icon, which is Minion Pro. Don't like to use Minion Pro, not because I don't like the font, it's just it's computer default. But we're going to change this font to something like Sentry. If you've not got it, just pick a sans serif, something that looks like. I'm looking for Sentry, coming in a minute, because it's very similar to the Sentry Gothic, and we'll just go with Sentry or Sentry Gothic. It's probably the best one. And I want to do it bold. And you see it's just flashing the cursor, and I want to do it about 48 point. See the cursor gets bigger, and this is going to be our headline. We'll go back to Google, and you can remember we're on that page where we've got our text. And I'm just going to copy and paste. Copy. That's right click to copy. Go back to InDesign in the docking station. That's flashing. And you can right click to paste, or the long way would just be to paste down here. And funding advice drops into there. Now we'll colour that type so it's very similar to the college guidelines. So if we go to swatches, which we see down here, and we'll just colour it the magenta by clicking on the magenta, and you'll see that colour change. And I'll just give you that without the guides. So we should have something similar to this. So we've got Sentry Gothic in there. I'll put the guides on. Now we want to change the text style. Notice we haven't started doing style sheets yet because we're setting the style up, and then we'll create style sheets for future pages. So select the text, and I need to select all that text. That's clicking and dragging, or you could press Ctrl-0. And you see that's the Minion Pro again. You need to select the text at the top. And you can actually type in to find a font quicker. So just type in CE. Your font will come up, and it's Sentry Gothic Bold that we're after. But it's not bold actually, I actually want to do it regular, so it's not too heavy. And it's 9 and 12 point. So this is the style that we're going to set up. And I'll click away from that onto this, and you can see that's slightly changed. I'll get you a little bit closer, just so we can see that's the font without the guides. And it's changed from the Minion Pro to the Sentry Gothic. Again, I'm going to try and use shortcuts a little bit in this tutorial. So if you press Ctrl-0, it gives us the full page of the size, and that's starting to look quite nice. So what I'm going to do is just start for the headline first. So if we select on headline, we'll put guides on so you can see. I've highlighted it, I've selected it. The reason we select this is because the style sheet will then take the values of the funding advice that we've got there. And what we do, we go to paragraph styles, which if it's not showing in your menus down here, which mine is, you just go to the top view, window, and you should see type even, and you'd see paragraph styles. So if I click onto that, paragraph styles comes to the front. There's no style set at the moment, so if we click these arrows at the top, go new paragraph style. And all these values come up down the left hand side. We name the paragraph style headline. And then we just click through these menus. Basic format. So we set that headline, Century Gothic bold, 48 point. We don't need to worry too much about this. We'll deal with kerning and tracking at a later date. Advanced characters, you don't need to worry about any of these tabbings, rules. The only one I want you to change will be hyphenation. We need to uncheck that so we don't hyphenate words, which you'll see that when we look. You should always have that unchecked, and you'll see that when we look at the body copy. And also the other thing I just see where you see character color. You see we changed it. We did it at the magenta. So that's all fine, and you just go OK. And that's a paragraph. See, you've got that. At the moment, it's not set to the style, so you need to click onto the headline. And that's how you set up that headline style. And now what we're going to do is look at the body copy. Again, I want to have all this selected. I'll just go to new paragraph style. And because I've got that selected, the values will automatically go in. And we're going to call that body copy. Then the same again. You just click down here, body copy, Century Gothic regular. See the difference here is it's 9 on 12 point, which that's what we want. We'll leave these values at the moment. The only other thing I want you to check, like we did last time, was the hyphenation. Uncheck the hyphenation. Now, if you can see words down here just slightly, you can see that they're hyphenated. We need to uncheck the hyphenation. And then the color is the same. You see the character color is black. Then we just go OK to that. And watch the characters will jump around a little bit once I go OK. Well, that's not actually applied it yet. You can see it's basic paragraph style. We've got that selected. If I click on the body copy, it should apply and that jumps around. Then we'll just click away and you can see with no hyphenation and we've got these two style sheets set up, which is exactly as we want it. It's looking quite nice. It's on the grid. So there, right, what I'll pretty quickly do as well is just show you. See, we've got a little red box in here. Again, I'm going to do that. This little red cross shows you you've got too much text. So if I go to the magnifying glass, it gets smaller, but you can see that red box. The select tool, I'm going to use the arrow to move that across. We've got the red box, cross box, and then what we do to the select tool, we just drag that down, and that disappears. Also, the error disappears at the bottom. If you remove that one, see you've got one error. It means you're losing some text within a box. You've got that. I'll just drag that down. The error disappears and the red box. I'm just going to go Control 0 and that'll get us to the page. So that's the basic. We've got two style sheets set up, which is that fine. What I want to do, I'm just going to recap about placing an image. It's about funding advice, nice, like a nice image there. So I'm just going to go to File, Place. See, I've done it different this way. I've not set a box out first. I'm just going to place the image. And the image I had earlier is the girl at the computer. I'm just going to click Open. and you get that icon. And that asks you where you want to place the image. Make sure you don't place it on a box or in text because it will be placed in there. Place it on an empty space. And it just drops in there. The beauty about that is it actually drops in at 100%. And if you can remember last time, I'll click to the select tool. I've selected the image there, not the box. The line changes to red. It tells me it's 100%. So what I'm going to do with that image, I'm going to delete that box, highlight it and click delete, and then I'm going to move that image up to the top. You see the box is slightly bigger than the image, so I'm just going to make I'm in the select tool and I can make the image the right size. It's not on the grid, I need it on the grid. You see the lines change to green, that tells me it's in the right place, in the right height. It's slightly out of the grid there, so I'll just change the box size. So I'm cropping in InDesign. And there we've got the two images to get rid of the guides, and that's how you place an image. You've got something coming together which is quite a nice layout, and it's on the grid, the 5-column grid. And we've got the two styles. Now, what we need to do, we've got the text in there, and this is why we do grid. We need to format this text the same as that. So what we'll do, I'm just going to select this text here. And once I select it, if you see, I'll just go body copy, and it changes, and I'll drop that to the sides. Now what I will do, at the moment that is just, again I'm in the select tool, so I'm just changing the size of the text. That is just Latin text. I'm going to go back to the web. And along here, that's funding advice. We'll get some more text, which relevant to the same. We'll go to counselling, and there's some more text here on counselling. Just recap, I'm just going to copy the whole of that. Mental health and counselling. Right click, and that'll be copy. Go back to your InDesign. And I'm going to make sure I've got all this selected. This is Control A, then delete that text. Then I'm going to what you do with that is I could do right click, copy and paste, but I'll do it the long way, which is just paste, Control V. And it pops in, and that's the text from the web. You can see it's starting to look a bit light. What we'll do, see we've got this red box again. I'm just going to make that smaller. It's still there. Remove this image. Up. Again, I'm in the select tool, and it's all snapping to the grid. I want that at 70, which is there. And you see it's only 25. Put in 70 at the top. When you click away, I'll press return. It drops. We've still got a red box with too much text. We've got two style guides. Now, how do you change the style so it runs? And what I'm going to do is just click on the body copy. You see there's too much text there, so if I click on the body copy, and this is why you set the style sheet up, we go to basic formats, and it's 9 point. What I'm going to do is just make that 8 point. You see, with the preview, it changes both body copy, or change it throughout your document. So it's consistent. We can make it fit. So that fits now in both at 8 point on 12 point. And again, we can do the same with a headline for counseling. I'm just going to select a text box, put it in the top. And what I'll do is just go to the web. This was counseling. I'm going to select the text, copy, go back to InDesign, and just right click and then paste. See, counseling goes into that, which is actually the body copy text, but I want it headline. So I've selected it all. See, it's body copy, and I need it as headline. And that's how you set a style sheet up. Sometimes you'll get a plus sign after the body copy, and I'll show you why. It's as if you've changed the style for some reason. Now, there might be reasons for that if you do words within text. I'm just doing Control C, and I'm just going to drop that E about here. Control V for paste. And you can see the little plus sign comes up. And it's telling me I have two styles within that text box. So you've got to be wary of that. And if you're aware that you're doing it, that's fine. But if you're not sure, and you select the whole box, you think, well, why is that plus sign there? What you can do is just right click and go apply body copy and clear overrides. Sometimes if your style is not applying, you need to clear overrides. And you're seeing that gets rid of the plus sign. And we've got a nice layout that's coming together, and that's basically what you do with style sheets. And you can see using white space, we've got the styles, the colors, everything works, and that is the end of the video for the style sheets. Thank you for listening.